Here's the statistical profile of that game where he was a superhero. He completed under 50% of his passes. He threw for under 150 yards. He got sacked 7 times. He had multiple turnovers, yet he still won the game. He's the first quarterback in the Super Bowl era to do those things. So, Danny, you're in a bit of a pickle here. You're a huge fan of Justin Herbert's statistical
most passing yards the first 5 years, most completions.
Who cares about wins?
Yes.
Don't care about wins. So now he won and played like a superhero. Where do you land on Justin Herbert's performance?
A battered superhero.
Yeah, I mean, you think you've boxed me into some sort of take corner here?
Yes.
Absolutely.
You boxed yourself.
Perfectly.
Nick has said with Colin and with you guys, you can't say it doesn't matter if he loses because the eye test looks good, and then when he wins but the eye test isn't there, you can't really build that case that it was
We've
impressive.
got you cornered.
Watch me. That was wildly impressive. He's a football player's football player.
I do like that. I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
Air that up across the table. Like, quote after quote after quote of players that said there was never any doubt that he was going to play. He inspired us all week and had surgery on a broken hand. And then of his 60 rushing yards, like 33 of them were on the final drive of regulation to tie.
Those were good.
Those were good. Or the winning drive in overtime on those 2 field goal drives. So he was tough, impressive. We all have respect for the Eagles defense. He got the win. And what I've been saying all year about Herbert is he has been overcoming an impossible situation around him.
Right.
And it was again the case last night.
Yeah.
But Nick, when
I'm agreeing with you.
No, okay, but when other people are presented with that situation, they don't win.
Right.
And he wins consistently. You're acting like last night was an aberration.
I'm not acting like anything. I haven't said anything.
I've watched the show.
I think last night, Justin Herbert. Go ahead, go.
Go ahead.
I think last night, Justin Herbert, who you can say it's all about grit and toughness, but the guy made one awesome pass the whole game that you texted me and tweeted about. Like, he had 138 yards passing.
What a throw.
70 of them were on a dump off to Vidal. So he had 60 other yards, but in those 60 yards, it was enough for a text and a tweet because of all of the arm talent eye stuff that we have been force-fed with this player, where the argument has been, man, winning. No. Finding a way. Don't you understand that is just the tiny piece of how you evaluate a great quarterback, and how you really evaluate a great quarterback is eye test and most completions in his first 5 years and most yards. And now in a game where the stats are awful, where he turned the ball over multiple times.
He still passed the eye test.
Okay. But when the stats are awful,
oh God,
but he found a way.
Wild.
And so what I'm saying is, of course I was impressed by that, because that type of game is what this player in his half-decade career has been to me missing. And this year I have been impressed by him because he is overcoming. More impressed than I was by the 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns early. I think that's consistent. What I don't think is consistent is folks who are like, when his numbers are awesome and the team's mediocre and it feels a little meaningless, he's great. And when the numbers are bad, but he makes the clutch plays and the team wins, he's great. It's a reverse Calvin ball that I don't buy into.
Okay, well, so if you've been impressed with him all year, then that's, I guess, news to me. But the idea, like, what has been impressive about Justin Herbert this year, yes, is that he has been overcoming it and winning. Last night he was sacked 7 times. Mm-hmm. If we drop the threshold to 5, he's undefeated in games where he's sacked 5 or more times. The rest of the quarterbacks in the NFL are 9-38. That is impressive. Overcoming, doing more with less. Last night he was pressured, 28 times? He's 2-2 this year when being pressured 20 or more times. All other quarterbacks are 3-25. the quarterbacks who have been pressured as much as he was last night in terms of pressure percentage, every other one of them have lost, as we've been dealing with this for the last decade. He won the game last night.
Well, he is.
So that's the thing now.
Yeah,
He won the game.
But Nick, when he broke his ribs in that game against the Chiefs in 2022 and had 300 yards and they lost 27-24, he was still wildly impressive in that game. He just happened to lose it. And it displayed his toughness. He's always been good enough to win, and he has been let down by the things around him.
So that's
Well, I mean, the big playoff game we all think about with Jacksonville, he had to get something done in the second half, and he didn't. Now, I get it. His defense was horrible.
And there was a missed kick.
There's always a missed kick or an interception off someone's hands. And the other playoff game we think about is the one last year where he had 4 turnovers.
Right.
Two of them off the guy's hands.
But it is again. Go ahead, Brew. Sorry.
I'm just saying, like, I've always been impressed with his toughness. Going back to that game you're talking about, playing with the broker. Like, he is physically tough, which has baffled me because I don't think he's been incredibly mentally tough throughout his career. I'm not saying he's been a weakling mentally, but he hasn't been as great in big games, in big playoffs and a few other regular season games. This year, he's showing that. I think some of that's Harbaugh, but this year he's finally starting to show it. So what you want is both. The great individual numbers that he's had throughout his career, but now he's starting to win these tough games when he might not play that well and show that mental toughness. That's what I like, and maybe that, will be well for him in the future.
And here's my frustration as we argue about Justin Herbert for the 6th straight year. During the game, you're complaining about Harbaugh. You're mad. You're mad about the 4 downs thing.
Of our text conversation?
Yeah, if it's not about a topic for the show, yes. If it's about the football game we're going to talk about, it's fair game.
That's fair.
You're already
Harbaugh
crafting the here's why it's not his fault. And even when you just said, you brought up the Chiefs game, I just think the turn of phrase is very interesting. He played great. They happened to lose. He was tough and awesome. He won. It can't be quarterback wins for me, but not for thee. That's the point I'm making. And yes, I have been over the width and breadth of this year impressed by Herbert. Where we banged on him was when they lost 35-6 to Jacksonville, and he was terrible. The last 3 weeks, he's thrown for like 120 yards a game. That was the beginning of that, but one of those games, he broke his hand, and this game he came back in, and I'm not going to kill a guy for a mediocre, even if they had lost, wouldn't have killed him for a mediocre statistical performance for a game that most people expected he wouldn't play. Like, I don't think
people expected that to be a Trey Lance game last year.
Yes, absolutely. And he put up a Trey Lance stat line as a tribute, and they found a way to win.
I mean, I just think, I'll tell you this. You guys have been talking a lot about Jalen Hurts today. If Justin Herbert's on the Eagles, they are an undefeated football team. Like, Justin Herbert is an unbelievable football player who in the past has been let down by injuries around him, bad coaching, missed kicks. He's
never been the problem.
He had 4 interceptions. He had 4 interceptions last year in the playoff game.
Danny, he's been in 2 playoff games.
Two of them were
I can say that about Jalen Hurts last night.
Danny, so he's been in 2 playoff games. One, he did precisely 0 in the second half. I'm sure it wasn't his fault. That was the defense's fault. And the other one, he threw 4 interceptions. Somehow we're deciding that 2 of them weren't his fault, but he'd still drone 3 all year. So those, I would say that's him. And this is the last point I'll make. KW, you know what I think was, and I give Herbert a lot of credit. You know what I think was the most impressive thing about the Chargers last night?
4 turnovers from
the defense.
Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, I think the defense. I think the Chargers' defense. I think he never.
Not the guy with the broken hand.
No, I think the Chargers' defense.
Well, they didn't defend the run well.
That kept them in the. Well, there was the one Saquon play.
Saquon ran pretty well all night on that.
Danny,
it was his best.
How'd I do?
In a while.
Welcome to the Quarterback Wins Club.
See?
It's a small fraternity.
I railed against this my whole life.
Yeah,
just like, look at this, wins, and he wins.
He wins.
Yeah, perfect.
All of those are wins.
All
stats.
just wins. I love it.
I know.
No points. A lot of times, here's the thing. Whenever you see like a point, get that out. Like 122 point something. Yeah. That's not a quarterback win.
No.
Just like 4 wins.
4 wins.
I loved it.
Well, guys, it's going to come as no shock to you who comes in at number 10, the Los Angeles Chargers.
Feels low.
Well, I don't know how sustainable any of this is with all of the injuries around. It was nice to see Hampton back last night, but Justin Herbert, you asked if he should be on Bruce's ballot. Best question of the day. It was a great question.
You think he should have?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, in the top 5.
No.
He's not going to win it. I told you guys a few weeks ago. Good value on a losing bet of Justin Herbert
Yeah,
to win
Danny
MVP.
told us to bet him to win MVP a few weeks ago and is now bragging about it.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Sharp analysis. Coming in at number 9, my Detroit Lions. On the way back, nice win over the Cowboys. Lead the NFL in points per game. This week we get Lions-Rams. Lions-Rams, since Stafford's gone to LA, we've seen it a couple times, once in the playoffs, once to open last season. Both spectacular games, both very close games, both games won by the Lions. If they can win that game, they're still very much alive in the NFC playoff picture. Coming in at number 8, the Houston Texans.
I like that.
Nick, I've loved your take all year about how how Jordan Love is the most interesting player in the NFL. Because if he's good, the Packers can win the Super Bowl, and if he's great, they will win the Super Bowl. C.J. Stroud might be that version of the quarterback in the AFC.
Oh,
the Texans' defense now has as many touchdowns allowed as takeaways. That feels impossible. Like, considering the quality of teams they've played, everybody on their schedule has been a playoff team except for the Titans and the Chiefs. They have just been absolutely dominant. But this has been what C.J. Stroud has been this year. And these are all just per game numbers, not because he has missed plenty of time, but he does qualify for all of these rankings. He's been average to below average. If C.J. Stroud can figure it out, the Texans in a wide open AFC could be dangerous.
What was his passer rating?
We can put. I don't have it committed to memory.
It's right there.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, you're right. We print this out.
Yeah.
20th, 90.
90?
Yeah. He's got to be better.
I know. That's almost the same as Herbert's. You walked right into that one, buddy.
Don't answer any questions.
Passer rating. What do you say about it? Flop stat.
Yeah, okay.
Number 7, the Denver Broncos. They have impressive wins. They have an incredible, potentially historic pass rush. Everybody has questions about their quarterback, but it still feels like they have an opportunity down the stretch to prove themselves and justify all of it. They're a home dog to the Packers this week, and they've got a couple more opportunities in the regular season, yet they still could be the 1 seed in the AFC, but the record is undeniable. Coming in at number 6, my Chicago Bears. I'm not going to drop you that much for losing to the Packers. Bad first half, much better second half. Obviously had a shot to win on the play at the end. You are a touchdown favorite against Shedeur Sanders at home this week. You win that game, then a week from Saturday, prime time on Fox, you get the Packers in Chicago, where first place in the NFC North will be on the line. So take care of business, and you can be right back in first place in 2 weeks. Coming in at number 5, the aforementioned Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love is playing Super Bowl caliber football. All credit to him. He has been great. The Thanksgiving game, I think, was the best I've ever seen Jordan Love. 4 touchdowns, no turnovers for the first time in his career. He was also very good against the Bears, with the exception of the terrible interception. Micah Parsons leads the NFL in pressures the last 3 weeks. He has more than 3 teams by himself. Same number of pressures as the Chicago Bears as a team since week 11.
Can't stop the run, though.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
that is about the wide injuries big. Coming in at number 4, I just dropped him 1 spot on the bye week because all the teams in front of him won, the New England Patriots. And the odds agree with me, and we can just go right to number 3, because the Patriots are a dog against Buffalo this week, and I agree with it. The Bills are my Super Bowl team from before the year. Call it the old money. They've been great for 5 or 6 years. I just think Buffalo is better than New England. I know they played them. I expect them to win this week. And what I've said all year about Buffalo, it feels like their best is best. They have the most games above 30 points scored this year of any team in the NFL. Coming in at number 2, the Seattle Seahawks, right where they were last week. A blowout performance. Their defense is dominant. Sam Darnold, I know the game against the Rams sticks with everyone with the 4 turnovers. These are all the categories that Sam Darnold is top 6 in the NFL. Completion percentage, yards, touchdowns, rating, yards per pass. He really has been great this season. So in that, by the way, with Drake May and Jared Goff. And coming in at number 1, no surprise here, everyone should have him at number 1, the Los Angeles Rams. 7 of their 10 wins are by 14 or more, by far the most of any team in the NFL. They're just bludgeoning people. Rams, the best team in football right now. Brew, as always, perfect top 10.
No.
Okay.
As always, not.
All right, that was close.
The Packers, I can't believe they're not higher. In fact, they should be number 2. I think they're better than the Rams, but I'll settle for number 2. Seattle, both of them have great defenses. Mm-hmm. Who's got the better quarterback?
Well, this year, I would say Sam Darnold.
Because Jordan Love's numbers are better. Better passer rating, same number of touchdowns, but I think half as many interceptions. More like 4 interceptions compared to, I think, 10 for Darnold. Doesn't have the benefit of Jackson Smith and Jigba, but now that he's got back some guys who aren't as good as JSN, but Christian Watson and Jaden Reed, that coincides with him kind of taking off and playing better. And it's opened up the run game. Josh Jacobs had 2 of his best games the last 2 weeks. That's opened things up for him. So the defense, we know how great that is, but now the offense is catching it up. And he's just, even if you want to say, which I think Love has definitely had a better regular season, but even if you want to say it's a wash regular season, we do know that Jordan Love can get it done in the playoffs. Isn't always great, but has had great moments. Sam Darnold, we've yet to see a great moment in a big game, let alone a playoff game. So I got to put the Packers ahead of Seattle.
Yeah, the Jordan Love playoff resume is he had the great game against the Cowboys, then he had 3 interceptions in the next game.
That's not 4.
It's not
like some people.
Yeah, it's not 4. They weren't off the guy's hands. Yeah. Listen, if Jordan Love is going to play like he's played the last couple of weeks, they are a tier 1 team that can win the Super Bowl. So I'm not gonna push back too hard against that. This team how they're playing right now absolutely can win the Super Bowl. I agree with you.
Once again.
Perfect list.
Once again, a litany of issues. That's what I had them put on the bar.
Litany of issues.
So first I have a question.
Okay.
Because I think you have the Bears too high.
I agree.
But you are treating the Bears-Packers game like it. I know they lost by 7, but like that was the fact that they played them down to the final play is carrying a lot of weight for you, correct? That those 2 teams played, it ended up being
each team had 1 sack, each team had 1 turnover. They had virtually the same number of yards gained, virtually the same number of first downs. It was pretty.
If the Packers had beat them by 4 scores or vice versa, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So why are the Jags behind the Chargers?
I'm answering his questions.
Yeah. The Jags have a better record than the Chargers.
I'll tell
the
you
Jags
what,
and
I
the
got no problem with
Chargers
this.
played each other.
Yes, they did.
Was it close, bro?
It was not close.
Is there a
35-6?
history of those 2 teams and those 2 highly drafted quarterbacks playing each other? Sure. Has one guy won all of them? Sure. The Jags have played a brutal schedule. They have 9 wins. They have beaten the Niners, the Chiefs when the Chiefs were playing their best ball. Their losses have come to Joe Burrow before he got hurt. Your 1 and 2 teams in the higher in your top 10 Tuesday, and a Texans team who they also beat. And oh yeah, by the way, they clocked the Chargers. So why are they behind the Chargers?
Do you actually think that Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Herbert?
I just know whenever they play, he wins, and Herbert always has more talent on his team.
wins, guy.
I know that. Here's what I know.
But
I know that in college he was better, and I know that in the pros, the 3 times they've played, he has played far better despite being the underdog consistently. That's what I know.
You kept asking Wilds to make the same thing on the Drake May versus Josh Allen. Answer. Who's better? Justin Herbert or Trevor Lawrence?
Honestly, I think Justin Herbert is a better player than Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
But I think the Jacksonville Jaguars, am I tripping? Is this a mountain? Is this about quarterbacks? Or is this about the teams?
I think that what happened with Trevor Lawrence this past week is maybe the best football game I've ever seen.
That's great.
Play.
I'm asking about the Jaguars being behind the Chargers.
I think the Chargers are better.
Based on what?
Because I think they're better, Nick. They lost to them head-to-head.
They didn't lose to them head-to-head. They got bludgeoned. They got annihilated.
They got bludgeoned head-to-head. I'll see you in the playoffs.
Head-to-head doesn't really matter to
beat the
Danny.
Super
as
Bowl
you
champs.
see it.
I'll see you.
They didn't just beat the Super Bowl champs.
The Chargers.
Oh, the Chargers. I thought you were saying.
No, your team beat
But
Riley
head-to-head
Leonard.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, beating Riley Leonard and beating the Super Bowl champions.
It's a little different.
Patriots beat
A little
the
recency
Bills.
bias, but hey.
It's a weekly list.
I pray.
A couple of QB wins, guys.
If the Chargers don't collapse and they make the playoffs, please give us the Prince versus Herbert in the playoffs again.
I welcome it.
Please. The Prince never left.
You sold
never
these
left.
Rocketeers.
He didn't leave.
That was a show
The Prince was
strategic
kicked out.
decision.
He didn't
Because
leave.
you needed a bit.
I have a door.
How dare you?
I have a door.
And
I don't
all
need
of our
another.
market research told us the door ain't popping, guys. We need a little pomp and circumstance.
What the market research says, go all in on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
What?
The bosses had to fly out from LA.
Right,
Like, why
which
don't
is
you
why
stop
they
talking
made me
Jags?
give him the Jag.
Why
They
don't you
made
not
me
get
give him the
him
trumpeter.
Ain't been any good. Why
They're
would
like,
you go
everyone
Jack?
loves the trumpeteers,
And if you
but
are,
we shouldn't
stop
talk
talking
Jaguars. But Jaguars
Whatever
are actually
Georgia
good
high
now.
school he went to. Not Scholastic Sports America. That's what,
Oh, I'm sorry, Clemson's not a big school. I'm sorry, Clemson.
Listen, I've been critical of Jalen Hurts in the past, and I don't want to be the word police here, but it was an outlier. He doesn't often have 5 turnover games. That was a crazy game. Willie, you've been an Eagles guy. Are you ready to write off the Eagles?
No, it's tough, man. 5 turnovers, a fumble, and a 3-game skid. It definitely feels like it's time to panic. I'm just struggling if this is Jalen Hurts having one of his worst games, or is this a product of Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo being predictable and out of rhythm? The Chargers have the second best pass defense in the league, and they threw the ball 40 times, right? They live in cover 2. And, Coach, you know this, when you attack cover 2, you just can't attack them vertically. You have to attack them horizontally with, flood and sail concepts. If you're going to run the ball, it has to be with counters and duels. And everything they did yesterday looked predictable, and it always looked like the Chargers had a beat on the Eagles' offense. And so I don't know if this is Jalen Hurts having, once again, a bad game, or this play calling and Kevin Patullo and all these guys who are trying to get ready for this game, they just didn't get it done. It was poor execution all the way around.
Yeah, I don't think we should be ready to write them off. The 3-game skid is concerning, but they've got the Raiders left, they've got Washington twice, and really the Bills is the most challenging game, so they should make the playoffs.
Right.
That I'm comfortable with. What I'm not comfortable with is the way that they lost, and this is the way that they've lost all season. I've said this over and over again. When Hurts attempts more than 30 passes, it's very clear what the results are. They're 7-0 when he's under 30 attempts, and they're 1-5 when he's over 30 attempts. So that to me is problematic. And they were running the ball well yesterday. Yep. Saquon Barkley had 120 yards. He reeled off the 52-yarder for a touchdown. So those were positives as well. All the noise that's created by questioning the offense, and A.J. Brown, as vocal as he's been, I think it's created unnecessary pressure, and guys are pressing in ways they shouldn't be pressing.
Yeah, it's tough for me to quantify pressing for someone who never played. And to your point with the schedule, I wouldn't write them off. They're the champs. They'll be in the playoffs. They'll be the 2 or the 3 seed in the NFC. They'll have a home game, and they'll believe that they can beat anyone. And we've seen, their best is good enough to beat anyone. They have very, very impressive wins this year. So I wouldn't write them off. But what I would say about Jalen Hurts is I've always struggled with, and I've gotten into it with Philly fans, and they've been in the comments of you guys can't have a top 5 everything. And I do think that Saquon has been a top 5 back, and you've had top 5 receivers, and you've had a top 5 defense, and you've had a top 5 offensive line. And I think that has propped up their coach and their quarterback, who have traits that I like. He's clutch. He plays great in his Super Bowls. He's an awesome leader. He's very valuable in the run
when the
game.
lights on, he balls.
Yeah, when the lights are on, no question.
Right.
But he's not a great passer. And by design, they want to be a lower volume passing team, right? That's when that tells me what they think of him as a passer. So if you're going to all of a sudden start making poor decisions, like the interception he threw at the end of the game, the last one.
Yeah.
It was an insane decision.
Which is great because how that drive started.
I disagree with that, though.
Really? He's wide open in the flat
all
on
he has to
first
hit
down.
Goddard right there. He tries to thread the needle.
The corner's trapping right there in the flat. He's got that corner route by the tight end. I can't tell who that is. Is that AJ?
Well,
so you've got the flat by the tight end. You got the corner right there, and
so you think that's a fine?
The issue here is you've got the defender in his face, so they're trying to get some pull, roll him out to the right, but the defensive back clearly bites on the flat route. If he had a little bit of time and this defender wasn't in his face, he would have put it over the top. And look at the green grass. It's right there if he could actually put it in there.
But, I mean, he hadn't been doing it all day, and field goal to tie, touchdown to win.
Wasn't that a 1st and 10?
Yeah, first and 10.
10.
You're moving down the field with the run game and the underneath stuff, and it just seems like a crazy risk when you have 4 turnovers in overtime.
I get that, but with the way he's reading that cornerback, and when the way the corner sits on this flat route, I mean, this should be a touchdown to the.
But I think to Danny's point, it seems like a high-risk throw when you have I know you're looking at the corner there, but if he puts this on Goddard right in between the numbers, that's at least a stoppage and you continue to drive. That's 2nd and 5 at that point?
Or an incomplete pass.
Or an incomplete pass. You try to thread it between 3 people in a crucial situation. I mean, it felt like it was unnecessary.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so fair enough. And I'll defer to you on film analysis, absolutely. So maybe reasonable minds can disagree here. But if you're going to take that piece away, like the decision making and like I can trust you in a big spot, he becomes a very average football player.
But that drive right there was indicative of how the season. It started off good, bad, and then ugly. Like that's how that whole last drive that drive ended.
This strikes me as crazy. Borderline elder abuse. Like he hasn't played. He missed the entire Biden administration.
Wow.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he didn't play a snap of football. This is crazy. I know that 44-year-olds have played. Vinny Testaverde, Tom Brady, 5 or 6 of them have played. But they played football continuously. Can he really stop playing with his grandkids, get signed on a Tuesday, and play against the top 3 defense on a Sunday at 44 years old? It is tackle football. It feels very reckless to me.
Yeah, this is an organizational Hail Mary, and that's where the Colts are at this point. They didn't expect to be as good as they were, I don't think, with Daniel Jones, and then they suddenly had the lead in the division. Then they make that huge trade for Sauce Gardner. They go all in, thinking, okay, this is going to be our year. We just need to improve the secondary. Mm-hmm. Now they lose Daniel Jones. They're on the verge. They've got this ridiculous run here at the end of the season, and they're looking at Riley Leonard, who's got very little experience, and then with Ripien, he's another guy that's got experience but not very much production. And now you're thinking, is there someone that can just steer this ship and give us a competitive chance to win? And the last time it happened with Andrew Luck, when he retired suddenly, Phillip Rivers was the answer, and they're hoping to look. It's an all-in Hail Mary type thing that they're hoping for.
I'm with you, DP. I mean, he's 44 years old. I mean, you got to, the rush, the arm. Who knows where he's at? You're talking about an offense right now. I think that should really lean on Jonathan Taylor, play behind the defense. And you're telling me you can't find a young British quarterback who could just steady the ship? Like, they have enough. Reaching for Phillip Rivers at 44 years old. This seems like, to your point, it seems like abuse. Like
they play Seattle and Houston.
Well, the other thing this could be, so Riley Leonard went and worked with Phillip Rivers prior to the draft. He actually talks all about it. Maybe they're bringing Phillip in. He's on the practice squad to help coach him up a little bit, to be sort of that in-house.
If he wants to be a coach, or a broadcaster, or a water boy.
But there is a relationship between those two guys. Maybe that's part of it.
Yeah, I mean they're banking on his IQ and grit. I get that, but he's still 44 years old.
And it's still tackle football, right? He's allowed to get hit.
Oh, he don't get smacked.
And you need to run.
I'm gonna sit in the house.
Yeah. I think it feels very, very dangerous.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.